Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Check Investing back here with another YouTube video. We're going to be talking about the weekly review. All right, so this is where we go over the weekly analysis down to the daily, to the 4 hours, to the 1 hour, right? So just 4 time frames, right? And we'll just be talking about what happened over the week, right? This is to help you with your daily and weekly bias formation, because it's very important for you to understand what's happening on the higher time frame so that you can, become more efficacious in trading the lower time frames. Because what we see on this channel, higher time frames trump lower time frames. That's correct. All right, so what do we have in the beginning of the week? We had a purge below this weekly low, right? Failed to get below this low over here. As you can see, looks like this low over here on the 18 did get taken out by ES, right? So that's a little bit of a form of SMT right there. That could tell you that we are having some sort of bullish price action. Price also closed last week below this weekly FEG, right? BISI, inverting it, but then the next candle immediately relapse back into it. Now, what do I talk about on this channel? If a PDRA is truly becoming inverted, right, we want to see the next candle after that expand away, right? Or just tap it and then expand away. We don't want to see it close back inside of it. That is a very bullish sign typically, where this could actually be emanating a reversal, right? And so, especially because we closed above the constant encroachment, I am under the inclination that we are actually being supported by this weekly fair value gap still, and then we could see ourselves going higher, right? To take out maybe some of these runs right here and to run higher. Now, that's what we had on the weekly candle. Let's talk about, I guess some things that we saw. Okay, so this right here is the mean threshold of this daily order block. We failed to get to it today. But that was one thing I had on my charts that I wanted to see us interact with, but I'll remove it for now. At the beginning of the week, we formed a low below this low, wicking below this low and rejecting higher, right? And we purged some liquidity pools over here and here. And we closed back into the range, right? That is the first sign of a reversal, right? This is like a turtle soup entry where price wicks lower, but then it starts to wick higher, right? And this next candle is now being supported by this wick that just formed. Typically, I'll use the lowest wick that is formed next to it. So this wick right here, you can see that we are now coming back into it. It's acting like a fair value gap, and we're hovering in the upper half of it, right? This candle failed to get through the consequent encroachment. It went just below it, then came back up. That's a very bullish sign, right? Even after the reacting from this daily SIBI, the reason why we probably didn't reverse immediately was because of this daily SIBI in the way. So we reacted from it, we ran lower and then closed back in the range. Then the next day, we continued that upwards move that happened in the PM session to run higher and completely overlap this SIBI, inverting it and using it as an inverted level, right, as support to further come back into this weekly FEG. So on the daily, we are now clearly showing bullish price action, okay? On the 4 hour, what do we have? On the 4 hour, starting from Monday over here, overnight, we ran lower, but then quickly started to run higher here, failing to come down back to this low, right? That is below here. That also has a very large, 4 hour fair value gap that has not been filled yet completely there. It's also a daily fair value gap that had not been filled too. I thought that was going to be a very sensitive level that we could be drawing to. We failed to get there, which tells you how bullish maybe we really are, right? Because we've seen that SMT with ES. Price ends up overlapping this 4 hour SIBI right here. That's the first like clear sign to me that we may be running higher, confirming that running higher move, right? Price touches that daily SIBI consequent encroachment. That also has this bearish order block in the way, runs lower, comes back into this 4 hour fair value gap that you see right here. Okay, fair value gap from this high all the way to this volume imbalance. ICT says when there's a volume imbalance, you need to include that. Right, this is the new week opening gap candles. You can see that we overlap the new week opening gap, tap this daily SIBI, come back, and then hover inside of this IFVG in the 4 hour that is nested within this 4 hour FVG, BISI, and then spikes higher going into the Wednesday AM session. All right, after a measly overnight, this is CPI. Price runs higher. Breaking market structure above this high. First breaking market structure was above here, right? Low, high, lower, low, market structure confirmation above this high, right? That's how you know we're really bullish and order flow is bullish. Price continues to cycle high, right? Overnight to Wednesday going to Thursday morning. And then London session, we have a reversal And then AM and PM end up taking us back down to this 4-hour FEG after just overlapping over the constant approach of this weekly IFEG and coming into this 4-hour SIBI, this really large gap. Price returns back to this 4-hour BISI and to the upper half of this 4-hour IFEG. You can see that we close in it and then reject away. Very bullish sign, right? Because it's the upper half of the PDRA. Also, something to keep in mind, we're reacting from a very higher time frame premium array level. We've purged a couple highs, right? So we've taken out external range liquidity. Now, what's the next draw on liquidity if you see a bigger market structure lower? Internal range liquidity, which is this fair value gap, which is why we come back in here and then run higher. And after we hit, internal range liquidity, what do? Right? If you break market structure higher, create this bullish order block right here. Price is running now to this high, external range liquidity. So we go from ERL to IRL, IRL to ERL, right? When you have a bullish price structure, okay? Price ends up making high of the week here on Friday in the AM session. And then we have a, measly candle in the 4-hour that kind of trickles higher, but fails to take out that high because Friday PM sessions suck. Now on the 1-hour, consolidate overnight, expand to make a bullish order block, retrace back into this 1-hour FEG BISI after inverting this 1-hour SIBI level over here, runs higher to this 4-hour for value gap that's over here. At this point, this 4-hour FEG has not been made yet, so we run higher, tap that daily SIBI, right, by about end of the day. So this was your draw on liquidity all Monday. The daily SIBI over here consolidates overnight, purges this high, fails to take out this high, comes just above the consequent approach on the daily SIBI, runs lower, 8 a.m. session. We are wicking into this 1-hour SIBI, failing to take out this candle's high, right? Because this is a bearish order block that had a break of market structure below this low with a fair value gap, right? So it's going to be hard to take out this high unless you're really bullish. Return but we're bouncing back from this 4-hour BISI and we're bouncing from this 1-hour SIBI. This is what I call the PDRA bounce effect, right? Plus you have this daily SIBI that you can't get past as well. And the reason why we can't really go anywhere decisively is because CPI is on Wednesday. So this day before, right, CPI, see how choppy it is, right? If you don't know what you're doing, it can be very hard to trade days like this. Price runs lower, takes out this low and fills in this whole 1-hour fair value gap completely. Then runs higher, runs lower again, taking out this low, runs higher, right? Very hard to predict what price wants to do here because day before CPI, absolutely no price action overnight. CPI shoots higher, ends up taking out all its LRRs over here that end up filling this whole daily SIBI completely, ends up retracing back to this 1-hour SIBI, and then ultimately comes up here higher to this 1-hour SIBI from last week that we could not break through, right? Ends up tapping that level because it's sensitive, because price obviously showed a willingness to not get past the constant encroachment really decisively last week. Probably do that the first time it touches it again. Runs lower, comes back to this redeliver rebalance price range, and then runs higher. Finally ready to take out this 1-hour SIBI, consolidates in it, right, going into Thursday. And then overnight, London, we have a large move, right? And then a retracement back down. AM session is now choppy, right? Because this large move overnight. AM session is now choppy. Don't trade it. PM has a pretty good move because we had a choppy AM. Okay. Price runs lower, back down to this 4-hour for value gap. And then we end up inverting this 1-hour SIBI overnight. Comes back into a 1-hour BISI right here, FEG, and then runs higher, takes out all these LRRs, continuing that market maker buy model that we're in, and then wicks back lower, comes back into this 1-hour BISI right here, just shallow of it, and touches the TGIF range for the week and an old 1-hour IFEG. Runs higher, right? Comes back into this rebalance price range, runs higher again, takes out this high, but fails to take out this high because Friday PMs are trash when you've had a very large week and you had a very large Friday AM session. Okay, so hopefully this has been helpful. You can literally see the market maker sell model, then the market maker buy model, and I just talked about why this was the case and why you're seeing it and how you can transform that. Let's go back to the daily real quick. Like you could have noticed that price was likely going to create this market maker bottom model at the bottom here because we took out ERL, right? We're going to come back to IRL, which is a very fair value gap here on the daily. That is in a premium, okay? And you're going to wait for a market structure break, which you see, above this high over here. You see another market structure break above this high over here, confirming that price is likely to drop to this daily SIBI that is in a major premium. Okay. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks for watching the weekly daily bias video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you press that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Press that notification bell. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. Join our free Discord. I'll see you guys in the next video.